Today we catch up with Coach Rodenberg. It's week 4 of the season. Coach, how are we doing?
Doing good, Rob. Thanks.
Hey, before we get started on our interview, I wanted to ad-lib a little bit. You and I have had the opportunity to do this for 13 years, not consecutively, but for 13 years we've done this every week, and we've had a lot of highs and there have been lows, and we all wish that I came up here every week to talk about a win, but that's not reality. It's not what we're working on right now, but we're building a program. What say you?
You know, we are in the process of a rebuild, and you know, they're not the funnest things to go through, but at the same time, when you finally establish what you want to get accomplished, then you can have success year in and year out, and it kind of builds on it. So, you know, we're going to stick to our guns. We believe in what we're doing. The kids believe in what we're doing, because I tell you, I haven't had one, the positive attitude and the effort that we're getting out of these guys is fantastic, and I'll be happy I'll be happy for these guys when it breaks loose. It's going to break loose, and you know, I can't thank their effort enough.
You know, one of the things we were talking before we turned the camera on, one of your state championships years, we had just in that season, we had a lot of peaks and valleys, and several valleys that, you know, that could have ended the season, but they fought through, had a great run in the playoffs, and came home with a ring.
Yeah, perfect example. Winning's a fine line, and in that year there were a couple games where, you know, we could have really imploded. You know, we had great team meetings afterwards. I thought the captains held the team together. I thought the team stuck together. And again, that's a building of that culture, a building of that effort and attitude that they stuck through and persevered, and we exploded in the playoffs and got that state championship.
Well, let's talk about last week, and because we're not going to shy away from talking about what's going on. Last Friday, you went down, played Taft, 41-0. Coach, and watching the huddle film, they've got some dudes on that team.
You know, we have, yeah, we did, and you know, you take a look at McNick's 2-1, Taft's 2-1. I think Northwest is having some success. We're playing some good football teams, and you know, when you play good football teams, it exposes some things that you need to work on.
Sure.
We're really young. You know, I thought Taft had some excellent athletes. They did some things really well, and a lot of seniors on that football team. And
did I read that 8 players are playing at the next level next year?
Yeah, and you know, and some of those 8, like 6 of them have Power 5 offers. So, you know, we're not shying away from the competition we're playing. It's making us better, but it's exposing some things we have to work on.
But I will tell you, in looking at those last 5-6 clips on huddle, your team fought till the end. That nobody gave up. They didn't have their head down. They played hard. They didn't have a point to show for it, but it showed me the foundation's growing.
I agree, you know, and I thought that the kids responded well at halftime. And there were some points in that game where, you know, I really saw some good things on defense, and you know, I'm happy with what we're building.
Let's talk just an intangible here. How did you like Stargell Stadium? It had a lot of press when FC Cincinnati Stadium was getting built. I think the Lindner family built that stadium. How was it? I've never been there. I was just curious. Nice football stadium?
Yeah, they did a nice job. You know, it's you know, I played in the other stadium, which I thought was nice when I was back at McNick, and I thought the upgrades they made to this one, it's a class stadium. It's good for the public schools and good place for them to play. And, you know, for the visitors, it's a nice area. I mean, it's nothing like what people would think. It's just a nice place to play football, and I thought, you know, they treated us really well.
Great. Talking about your team, and I know one of the things that's important during the season is lifting. You know, it's not a summer program. You guys lift during the season. Let's talk a little bit about that with the fans, how that works during the season, and how is the team responding?
Well, again, you know, I've always said the weight room is my foundation, and we continue to lift, and we're continuing to get stronger. You know, we adjust things a little bit, but we're not in a maintain mode. We're still in a get strong mode. And, you know, to give you an idea how I think the program's changing, we're still getting perfect attendance at our weight room.
Great.
They're coming in at 6:30 in the morning. They're lifting hard. We're going 3 days a week. And they're seeing, you know, and I think it's keeping some of the injuries down.
Sure.
And I think it's keeping the kids getting stronger, which is going to pay dividends as we, you know, continue to go into the future.
The gold standard of the CHL for many years, Wyoming Cowboys come over to Tomahawk Stadium this Friday. Coach has got he's built a program at Wyoming. They're very successful. Talk a little bit about the Cowboys and who's coming over here on Friday.
Well, I listened to Bo Schembechler talk one time, the former great coach in Michigan. He said, when you take over a program, you look at who's the number one team in the league, and that's who you go after. And Wyoming is the number one team in the league. They've been the number one team in the league for a little while, and they're coached well, they play well, and that's what you aspire to be. So you have to take a look at your scheme. You've got to take a look at your weight room. You have to take a look at everything you do, and it has to point to being the best in the league. But before you can be the best in the league, you've got to beat the best in the league. And Wyoming, they've got a really good tailback.
Sure.
I think their offensive line, they've got a nice scheme. They open holes for him. They're coached really well on the offensive line. Their defense flies to the football. They're doing things that I want our guys to be doing, and things that I think our guys are going to eventually do.
Great.
But for right now, it's Wyoming, and we look forward to playing them, and I'm going to watch the film and learn from it.
Great, Coach. Well, listen, thank you again for the time. Best of luck on Friday here. It's supposed to be a nice night here at Tomahawk Stadium. Best of luck, and we'll touch base next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Rob.